Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows I am your host, Papa Joe, and I do appreciate you all being here today. It is a beautiful, wonderful Monday, and it has flown by. Literally, I feel like I have had anything and everything just go quick today. Anyhow, hopefully you guys and gals are doing great. Hope you have a good weekend. I do appreciate you all being here today. Do me a favor, if you are new to the channel, subscribe. It does help the channel grow. It also lets YouTube know that the content that I'm producing here is actually worth their attention. The likes do that as well, but that helps them bring other people who want to see this type of content into the channel. So do me a favor, if you get to the end of the show and you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, smash those likes. Also, if you want more Papa Joe, I do a Patreon show that is at 4:30 Eastern every day, as long as nothing crazy goes happening with work, personal, or whatever. And there is definitely some stuff where I take the gloves off there, talk about things that will get this channel taken down. So that's why that is there. I've already had to rebuild the plumbing on that a couple times, just to put it into perspective for everybody there. If you want more educational related stuff, check out Crypto Confidential. It is worth the investment. I do guess write for them sometimes, and there are events private to that will be coming up, and more in the future as well. And I am going to actually be smoking some brisket and some ribs, and I don't know what else. It's going to be fun and very tasty. Anyhow, let's jump into the content today. What we're going to be looking at is some capitulation around the miners. We're going to take a look at the market cap of crypto finally jumping over $1 trillion again. And then we're going to take a look at a few different other things on the back end of the show. So stick around, throw some questions, comments, whatever into the chat. There is a live chat running. I love it when you guys and gals do that. It is one of the favorite parts of doing the show here, is that I get to spend time with you guys and gals. It is great. Anyhow, so let's jump right into the content, shall we? We've got Bitcoin is up more than 7% today, which is fantastic. It looks like I don't know what we're going to end up having going through here. If anyone does say that they know, they're just fooling themselves and you, because at the end of the day, there is a little bit of manipulation around crypto with the centralized exchanges. Now, something like the Divi wallet is a decentralized exchange, or some of the other exchanges that are legit decentralized, that protects you and me from being able to it's on-chain transactions. Let's just put it that way. Glassnode is a wonderful publication / tooling that gives you and me the ability to crap. I left my coffee upstairs. Doggone it. Yeah, that's not fun. Anyways, it allows you and me to be able to actually have a trade and then actually go between two individuals rather than in centralized exchange, which is pretty cool and novel, and it is. So you got the Dow, it's up, but it's gapping. This isn't a day chart. It's gapping pretty bad. It's not a good gap. Gapping, from what I understand, y'all keep me honest here and tell me if I'm wrong. Gapping is where you see things, whatever market it is unhealthy. And it's not necessarily a good thing. You got the Dow, you got the NASDAQ, and you got the S&P 500 all doing that. Gold is slightly up, which has been slammed down pretty hard over the past couple of days, couple of weeks. This is the day chart. Let's go to I like to look at the hour too a little bit on this one. Yeah, see, it slammed up the other day, and then it was slammed right back down. So there you go, spiked up, whatever you want to call it. Silver is going to be a massive run once the manipulation stops. It's going to be a big deal. Just to put it to you guys bluntly. So Divi, interestingly enough, had a spike up to 2.5 cents, and then it was slammed right back down. I don't know who's playing around with Divi. The liquidity in Divi is definitely low, but at the end of the day, folks, Divi has built some of the best foundations I have seen in anything crypto, and I've been in crypto since almost the beginning. And when Divi runs, I think here shortly, some of the stuff is going to start taking off. A lot of the plumbing that they've put in place has been tested and whatnot, and the water is about to start flowing, if you will. I really think Divi is going to be a very big deal. mainly because they're one of the few projects out there that are actually focusing on the end user and the usability of the platform rather than the technical. Well, they're focusing on the technical too and the security as well, which is very, very nice. So pay attention to Divi if you are not. Hey, look at Matic. Look at Matic. Matic is up 26%. You guys and gals know why? Matic and Ethereum. Ethereum's at $1,500. You guys and gals know why these are up? And similarly charting. Well, see, Matic is about to enable Ethereum to actually become scalable. Because Matic is the layer 2 solution for Ethereum scalability problems. They're also their own layer one, and I've gone over this with you guys. Matic is going to be a very big deal when it comes to the scaling of Ethereum, and in general, as far as their price action is concerned, it's going to be huge. It already has been huge. If you got into it when it first launched, back then, kind of like what I did and whatnot, and it ran up to almost $3. That's a lot of movement. If it moves several dollars in a day, that's a big deal too. Not gonna lie, that's a huge deal. That's an interesting thing here. Axi's taking a nice run as well, and so is, believe it or not, Shiba. Shiba Inu is an interesting one. It was set up, as I've mentioned before, as a meme coin, as a coin to be a joke, kind of like Dogecoin. Except, unlike Doge, they went and took the profits from their increase in funding, and they're actually building an exchange, decentralized exchange. They're building a staking platform. They're building a couple other different things in an actual ecosystem. So that's up more than 15% today alone. Interesting stuff. Hey, look, mortgage rates didn't stay down long, did they? It's kind of like what I was said. It's going to spike back up. See, the thing about mortgage rates, so the mortgage rates are up here. It looks, sorry, some chats going on through there. It's a very good question, Divi Daddy. Shiba has an indefinite supply. How can anyone support it? There's a lot of projects out there that have indefinite supplies. I'm not necessarily in support of Shiba. My point is that people are buying it, even though it's probably not necessarily gonna last long. People are gonna get hurt with some of these projects. They just need to be very careful and do their own research. But thanks for pointing it out, my friend. Some may even say infinite. Yeah, kind of like Dogecoin has infinite supply. Kind of like some of the other coins have it. Some of the other coins have infinite supply as well, which is great. It's fantastic. Look at Matic. Disney is on board. Yeah, Matic is going to have some interesting stuff happen. Matic is going to be huge. But yeah, Shiba's y'all do your own research. Realistic. That is, they are the one project that was supposed to be a crap coin and probably still is a crap coin. Like I said, that actually did something with the money. So just be careful. Everything I say on the show is not financial advice. You'll do your own research. It is for sure, definitely needs to be paid attention to. Be careful. But Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, where's Litecoin? Litecoin is it's pushing 60, which is fantastic. What was its all-time high? It was above 400. This is the day. Yeah, it pushed up above 400 a couple times. So we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what happens. All right, cool. So let's jump into some interesting news here. The Bitcoin miners finally capitulating, which is great. 5 things to know about Bitcoin this week. So, Bitcoin rebounds strongly off the weekly close, but for Bitcoin miners, it may be a case of too little, too late. Bitcoin starts a new week nearing key resistance as the shock of the latest United States inflation data passes. Can the strength continue? It probably will. July 17th weekly close may have been particularly identical to the last, but Bitcoin USD is showing some much needed strength, prior to the July 18th Wall Street open. Last week, see how these things connect people? Even the stupid Cointelegraph connect this stuff. This guy is very pessimistic, dude. He really is. Oh, it's so fun stuff for sure. Let's see, where was I at? Okay, the last week was a testing time for crypto holders everywhere, with inflation dictating the mood across risk assets and the U.S. dollar capping the gloomy atmosphere. Yeah, I've told you guys before, there's not going to be any more crypto to sell because those of us who have had it for the longest time, we're not selling it. We're not giving it to the exchanges to sell. We're not giving it into the bankers' hands to give them more to hold. You are your own bank now. I am my own bank. You are your own bank. It is very, very, very crazy stuff. Let's see here. Where was I at? Yep. So, with those pressures now easing, at least temporarily, the mood has room to relax. Excuse me. That's a mouthful. At the same time, on-chain data suggests that now is a make or break moment for Bitcoin miners. The capitulation across the market feels close. As talk over the Bitcoin macro bottom could lie continues, Cointelegraph takes a look at several factors primed to shape Bitcoin price performance in the coming days. All eyes on weekly moving averages, so keep your eye on those. Where was the other? Ethereum nears $1,500 in potential tender set move. I don't know what that actually means. I guess it's some it must be a technical term, tender set. Dollar strengthened finally flips in the Bitcoin's favor. Yeah, which means it's going down, if I'm not mistaken. When the Dixie, I think is what it's called, when that trends down or starts spiking down, it ends up meaning Bitcoin is up. Miners dumped 14,000 Bitcoin in days because they needed to be able to take care of their stuff, take care of their mining equipment, upgrade their mining equipment, pay for their power, etc., etc. And yeah, so with so much hope and trend in the turnaround could be on the cards, on-chain data showing Bitcoin miners selling inventory looks all the bleaker. Just so people understand, on-chain data is the blockchain transactions. You realistically need to pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to what the prices are on the exchanges. This is just going to tell you what they're doing in the with the paper trading, we'll call it, because that's how I look at that. On the exchanges, those are paper trades. So pay attention to the on-chain data, not necessarily on the exchanges. You can pay attention to both, but put more stock in the on-chain data. According to the data from on-chain analyst platform CryptoQuant, beginning July 14th, miners removed a significant chunk of Bitcoin from their reserves. The effect was that miner reserves fell to their lowest level since July 2021, a point which also marked the Bitcoin price low. Yep. Basically, I used to be a miner as well, but this was not anything that affected what I was doing. These people, they're industrial mining. They know what they're doing with it. And when it comes to this stuff, they have to pay for their equipment. They have to pay for their facilities. They have to pay for their internet. They have to pay for their power is the biggest thing they pay for. Just to put it bluntly. Just about every time they say, okay, we can't take it anymore, and they dump their stuff on the market, or they do what they just did. Historically speaking, that is when the price turns around and everything runs back up. It's really weird, but it is. Reserves stood at 1.84 million Bitcoin on July 18th, down 14,000 Bitcoin versus the July 14th tally. For CryptoQuant contributor Edrius, I guess that's his name, the numbers were an encouraging sign, hinting that miners were now contributing to establishing a macro Bitcoin price floor. Bitcoin miners are finally capitulating. He summed. Yes. So this is a very important thing. When you have capitulation, especially with the miners, with the network, with the actual underlying technology running the platform, that is where you see everything kind of stop out, level out, whatever, and then the price can then continue to grow. Historically speaking, at least. So, anyways, the RSI sparks very rare Bitcoin price inflation point, which is also an interesting data point as well. Finally, a rare event. The Bitcoin chart may just have proved the fuel for historic turnaround, analysts suggests. Yes. So when you hit these when you cross the what is this? The 45 day they're looking at? What is this one? Yeah, this is the 45 day. Here, I'll just read through this one. Actually, no. Bitcoin's relevant strength index, or RSI, is now a suitability low levels, has combined with a touch of a long chart trend line, which sparked the greatest Bitcoin price recoveries, which is very true. Current exciting, very rare situation now. It announced over the weekend RSI below 45. 45, I guess, moving average. In a logarithmic whatever, I can't say that word, don't ask me to try to say it. Anyway, the bottom showed a great reversal in the past, followed by a crazy bull run, cross equals RSI. Excuse me, didn't mean to bump the mic there, my apologies. And accompanying chart shows the power of such an event, which follows RSI hitting its lowest levels on record. So every time there was, it's back 2012, crossed, 2015 where it crossed, 2019 where it crossed, and then again in 2022 it just crossed. We are really close to the bottom, if not right at the bottom. Just my 2 cents. Crazy stuff, right? So the market, with all this fun stuff taking place, is now back above $1 trillion. Let's look at exactly what it is. The market cap here, we are at just above $1 trillion in market cap, which is crazy cool. Bitcoin up 8%, Ethereum up 30%. It's crazy. Yeah, Binance, Cardano, everything's up. XRP is up. Polygon is up 62% in the past week. If y'all are not paying attention to Polygon, you really need to pay attention to Polygon. They are not joking around. Litecoin is also one you need to pay attention to as well. Realistically, y'all need to pay attention to those. So US is a big mover here. Let's look at the past 7 days. Let's see if I can sort it here. Yeah, Polygon's second to the top, which I don't even know what that one is. Lido Dale, I don't even know what that is. Polygon is a big deal. Please pay attention to Polygon. Not financial advice, but you might want to take a look at it. Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two largest cryptocurrencies, are leading the charge as the broader market rebounded on Monday. It's interesting that they're saying Ethereum's leading the charge because I would suggest that Polygon's actually leading the charge. Matic, look at that candle. I mean, come on, holy moly! Just my 2 cents. Actually, they call out Polygon here at the end. Some notable gainers of the day include Polygon and somewhat surprising Ethereum Classic, which is also an interesting one. I just saw that a second ago. I hadn't seen that. Avalanche and Polkadot. So all of the blockchains that are designed for businesses to build their companies inside of. It's technology first, people. I've been saying that. I'm not going to stop saying it. After weeks of frustration for investors, Bitcoin soared to a monthly high of 22,430 on Monday morning. I actually think it's higher than that now. It is 100. Crazy stuff. Where was I at? Wrong one. Sorry about that, folks. Bringing some minor relief to what has been a dramatic crash. It has not been crashing. This is what Bitcoin does every single time. Tom, I couldn't agree more. Time for Divi to run. I could not agree more. Although the leading cryptocurrency has cooled, although the leading cryptocurrency has cooled somewhat at the time of writing to trade at 22,280, which it's now at 22,180. So it's cooling off a little bit. It's still up 3.6% over the past 24 hours, and almost 9% in the last 7 days. We just looked at that. It is very, very nice to see that. So part of the reason Ethereum is up is expected to merge from its current state as a proof of work or POW blockchain to an energy efficient proof of stake or POS network in September. They keep pushing this out. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just going to say that. It is outpacing Bitcoin with a 7.7 surge over the last day. Look, the only reason Ethereum is doing anything at all right now is because of Polygon, because of the ticker's Matic. That is the only reason why. Ethereum keeps pushing off their scalability, their merge, whatever they're calling it, and it's not going to happen right now. After hitting a daily high of 14,486, Ethereum, I guess this is the time of writing, it actually hit 1,500 again this morning. It already hit 1,500 according, whatever, anyways. So I really, 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 really need you guys to understand Ethereum. If Ethereum doesn't get their act together, Ethereum's not going to be around for long. Matic or Polygon will eat their lunch. All right. The reason I say that, is that Polygon has made themselves the easiest to use, just like Divi is making itself the easiest to use. Litecoin makes sense, it works, whatnot, all that fun stuff, but Divi makes sense as well in a very, very different way. Litecoin and Divi can be compared as far as a fungibility or a tool to use for a means of exchange. There's other things that Divi does as well. But like Ethereum and Polygon, Ethereum needs Polygon. Polygon does not need Ethereum, which is fantastic. Although they do use Ethereum security, but that can be from a coding perspective, that can be absorbed. It's not really that big of a deal. It's easier said than done, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's not a huge lift, if you know what I mean. Pay attention to those guys. Again, I say it on the show, not legal, not tax, definitely not financial advice. Y'all do your own research. This is for entertainment and or educational purpose only. Hopefully you are learning and at least being able to pick up some nuggets and take and run and learn elsewhere as well. This is kind of fun stuff. So this is something I kind of wanted to focus on for a second here. Cryptocurrency flowing into mixers. If you don't know what a mixer is, basically, let's see, they're also called tumblers, excuse me. Basically what they do is you send your crypto into it, it jumbles it up with other transactions and then sends it back to you as clean money or clean crypto, to where it's a lot harder to trace the transactions associated to your crypto. There are certain exchanges that will not allow you to send your crypto once it's gone through a tumbler into the exchange to be sold for USD. There are ways around that. I'm not going to go into that on this show. But just understand that it is set up so that you can protect your money. We'll call it that way. The way this particular article and all articles about tumblers will inevitably spin that type of technology or that type of feature of the cryptocurrency environment is that they will tell you that it's nefarious actors trying to do bad things. Well, actually, most of the time, people using those are people who just want to be private. They want to be private in their transactions. They want cryptocurrency. What specifically they want Bitcoin, which is not in private really at all. It's definitely a open book. If you know the wallet address, you could pretty much find out who did it and what's in the wallet, what transactions they've had, etc., etc. If you want to protect yourself against that with Bitcoin, mixers or tumblers is definitely something that they do. It is available for that. So with Litecoin, though, that has a little feature called Bimble enabled for the environment, which gives you privacy for your transactions. Monero gives you privacy for your transactions. I think Pirate Coin does, and there's another one called Cloak. I want to say that Cloak uses something called the Ghost Protocol. I'm pretty sure that they have some sort of variant of it for all of the privacy coins. The Ghost Protocol is a pretty cool protocol where the transaction goes through the Tor network. If you don't know what the Tor network is, basically it's a spider web of a network and kind of works like a Tumblr, but the transaction itself is masked entirely from it. I digress. Getting really technical, and I apologize. This is set up in such a way to actually mask your transactions. The amount of cryptocurrency flowing into privacy exchanging mixer services has reached an all-time high this year as funds from wallets belonging to government-sanctioned groups and criminal activity almost doubled, researchers reported on Thursday. I wonder why. Mixers, also known as tumblers, obfuscate cryptocurrency transactions by creating a disconnect between the funds a user deposits and the funds a user withdraws. To do this, Mixer pulls fund deposited by large numbers of users, randomly mix them. Each user can withdraw the entire amount deposited minutes minus a cut from the mixer. Basically, they take a fee. But because the coins come from this jumbled pool, it's harder for blockchain investigators to track precisely where the money went or came from, for that matter. So this works for smaller transactions. For bigger transactions, it doesn't really do much. So if you're going to send $1 million or $5 million or something like that worth of Bitcoin in, that type of transaction doesn't work out as well for this. Just simply because you still end up, when the tumble happens, you still end up with the same things, and it doesn't really work out. So, anyways, the reason this is going on, folks, is because people are realizing they need privacy and they want privacy. It's not necessarily bad actors. It's not necessarily people try. It is in some regard bad actors. It is in some regard people trying to avoid sanctions or taxation or whatever. Just please understand, though, that that this is going to be a normal thing that takes place in the not too far future because the CBDCs are going to be launched. CBDCs are going to have significant tracking in them, and they're going to require you to use their wallet on your phone. And they're going to require that you give location data information to them so they can track your every move, hear everything you say, watch everything you do, and turn the faucet off to your money whenever they want to. Because of, I don't know, you did something they didn't like, or I did a YouTube show that they didn't like. We're gonna throttle you back there, buddy, kind of thing. Put the vice on and squeeze, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that is something to keep in mind. Bitcoin will end up being used because nobody in this country is going to want anyone telling them what they can and can't do with the money that they make and have. And they already do. People are waking up to that fact, and more people are getting into cryptocurrency for those reasons. And like I've said all the time on the show, cryptocurrency is the exit strategy. When the markets fall, those dollars will come into cash. People will go, crap, we can't use this because it's not worth anything. And they'll put it into crypto, and crypto will skyrocket. And then it will not, because it'll be valued in something else. We don't know what it's going to be yet. I have a hunch, but we'll see. Do your research, folks. Last thing I'll touch on here real quick, and very interesting around this, is that Gensler finally outlines what to expect from the SEC when it comes to U.S. crypto regulation. This is the wrong one. There was one I had that had like a bullet point. So, I'll read his quotes here. SEC Chair Gensler outlined what to expect in his agency of the U.S. crypto regulation Thursday in an interview on Yahoo Finance Live. He was asked, what can we expect from the SEC in the coming months on a crypto regulatory front? Gensler replied, more broadly, the public right now would benefit from investor protection around these various services providers. The exchanges, the lending platforms, the broker-dealers, the SEC chief elaborated. So we can we at the SEC are working in each of these three fields: exchanges, lending, and broker deals, and talking with or to industry participants about how to come into compliance or modify some of that compliance into their big game. If these exchanges jump in there, you guys and gals know that it's not going to end well for the exchanges. The vast majority of people in crypto, especially the OG, especially anyone who's been in this for a long time, we don't want anyone telling us what to do with our money. It's ours. And this is the point, the stake in the ground point that we need to stand up and say, no, you're not doing that. No, you will not do that. No, you are going to follow our rules because we, the people, say so. It is us that is in charge and not you. The SEC is an unelected official. They are an appointed official, appointed agency by some arbitrary government entity to tell us what we can and can't do with our money. The regulation, they're doing it backwards. They need to have regulatory stuff on the 401k stuff. Yeah. We do have robust authorities from Congress to use our exemptive authorities that can tailor investor protection. He also says we are also looking at the tokens, the stable coins, and the non-stable coins separately. We do have discussions with the bank regulators and with our friends and colleagues at the CFTC. More to come, folks. More to come. I'm going to run through the chat and say hey because I am actually on another show immediately following this. I forget the name of the show. Hang on just a second. I will look at it here in a moment. I think it's called, let's see. It's called Jen's Awesome Show. Jen's Awesome Show with Bitcoin consultants worldwide. I'm going to jump on there and just a few minutes. Go over to my Twitter, you guys and gals who are part of the Patreon. There is a Telegram channel. I will post the link to all that there. So if you want to see more, check it out. Got Steven in the house. What's up, brother? Thanks for jumping in today. It is awesome to have you here. Tom, what's up, brother? Thanks for jumping in. How you doing, Joe? Good morning, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Lithia, what's up? How you doing? Who else we got here? Davy Daddy. Yes, Shiba. Yes, we talked about this. So like I said, we talked about it. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. Yes. Look at Matic. Yes, for sure. Disney is a yes. This is like you said. Like I covered it on the. I don't know if it's a Patreon. I covered it on Patreon too. It is definitely real value for sure. Joe, thank you for this. A gap is a result from a large supply-demand imbalance. Futures trade 23.25 in a midweek gap. Gaps are typically it's really, really small text, so I apologize for the choppiness. Small and tend to fill within the same session. Yes. So I always thought that meant that things were unhealthy whenever they had large inflows or large outflows. That's just what I was thinking around that. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Please. So, for sure. Let's see. Tom, I love Matic, but I gotta draw the line with Disney. And Divvy responded, and I completely agree with that. And this is why. Imagine where you could be able to track where your funds go. Yeah, that'd be kind of great. It's beautiful to think about what's going to happen with that one. What's going on, Celestial Appetite? How are you today? Bandicoot, what's up? How you been? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Hopefully you are doing well. Let's see who else is in the house here today. All right, cool. So I got to run because I got to go get prepped for that show. I really do appreciate you guys and gals being here. Tune in this afternoon for the Papajo Patreon show. Scrolling to the bottom of the screen and link in the description of the video. It does help the channel out. Those of you who have joined, it does mean a lot to me. And as those of you who are part of that know, the content there is definitely different. But some of it is the same, but I try to dig into it a lot more there. So you guys have a beautiful, blessed, and wonderful day. And I will see you this afternoon. Take it easy.